The Inca Empire was one of the most powerful civilizations in the ancient world. It stretched across mountains, valleys, and deserts of South America. Roads connected cities. Messengers ran 4 miles. Gold shined in temples, not as money, but as a symbol of the sun. At the center of this empire stood the Sapa Inca, the emperor. He was not seen as an ordinary man. He was believed to be the son of the sun god Inti. His word was law. His wishes became reality. In T's world, religion and power were the same thing. To obey the gods meant to obey the emperor. To question authority was to question the universe itself. The virgins of the sun were known as the Akla. The word means chosen women. They were selected from across the empire at a young age. They were taken from their families and placed into special houses called These were closed spaces, guarded and silent. Officially, the Akla were honored. They were said to serve the sun god. They made sacred cloth, prepared ritual food, and lived lives of purity. But honor did not mean freedom. Girls were chosen by officials who traveled from village to village. Beauty, skill, and family background mattered. Once chosen, there was no refusal. Families could not say no. To resist was dangerous. Selection was presented as a blessing, but it felt like loss. Mothers watched daughters leave, knowing they would never return. The empire called it service. Families felt it as separation. Choice did not exist in this system, only obedience. The virgins of the sun were known as the Akla. The word means chosen women. They were selected from across the empire at a young age. They were taken from their families and placed into special houses called These were closed spaces, guarded and silent. Officially, the Akla were honored. They were said to serve the sun god. They made sacred cloth, prepared ritual food, and lived lives of purity. But honor did not mean freedom.
Religion shaped every moment of the Akla's lives. They were taught that their bodies and futures belonged to the sun god. From a young age, the Akla learned that asking questions was forbidden. Faith meant silence, and silence meant survival. The empire believed this system kept balance in the world. The Sapa Inca held ultimate power over the Akla. Some were chosen to serve in temples for their entire lives. Others were given as rewards to nobles, and a select few were chosen for the emperor himself. This wasn't called desire. It was framed as a divine right. His authority replaced any need for consent. Ceremonies were central to Inca life, and the Akla played crucial roles, preparing offerings and brewing sacred drinks. Every mistake had consequences, as the gods were believed to demand perfection. For some, their journey ended in the ultimate sacrifice, a sacred gift to protect the empire. Thanks for watching.
Imagine being told your daughter's death was an honor, a service to the gods. In the Inca Empire, this was the reality for families of the Akla, the so-called virgins of the sun. While official stories spoke of devotion, the truth was a life of control, fear, and silence. The empire wielded faith like a weapon, justifying its power and covering the deep suffering of these chosen women. Their families couldn't mourn openly. Grief was a forbidden language. When the Spanish arrived, their biased accounts still captured a chilling reality: isolation, control, and ultimately sacrifice. For many Akla, life meant a permanent loss of self-known family. No future, no voice. Some historians even argue this fate was worse than death. The story of the Akla is a stark reminder of how authority can misuse belief to control lives. History praises empires, but we must remember the silent voices. Remembering them is a form of justice.